Hey guys, it's Orator back with another video. Okay, I think this topic is going to be about this past person, recent past person, right? And what I observed and the choices that led to the no contact. I believe that everything has a root and a cause, right? However, I really tend to look at some of the overarching and underlying. I look above and below. So I look at the highs and the lows. I read it like a graph. Like I'm looking at the highs, the lows, and I'm kind of looking at you know, what what's the normal, what's the level where we're at, you know, what's the net gain? What do we gain from this? I look at this person's fruits and how they make me feel. And I understand that when they're ready, and it's easy to manipulate the energy when you're ready, when you're feeling like, yeah, I want to, make this person feel like good. So I'm going to say something to them to make them feel good right now. And I understand what that's like because, I mean, if you've reached a certain age, you should know a little bit about what manipulation looks and feel like, what it sounds like, right? And so I understand that part of it. I understand what parts may be a little bit of realness. I understand, kind of all of that stuff in between. And I don't want to get so consumed with thinking about someone when I have so many other facets of my life that I need to focus on. So my objective now is to look at this kind of from a logical standpoint. Take my emotions up out of it. I gave myself a certain time to really feel what I felt because I was like, damn, I feel disappointed. I feel hurt. I feel, sad a little bit. I feel, you know, a loss. And the loss could just really be like a loss of myself, in the process of thinking that, you know, I don't know. It could mean so many different things, but this past person, and this may be the same for you, this past person, if they made you feel, you know, at any point like constantly belittling you, constantly undermining you, making you feel like you have to prove your worth, your intelligence. I mean, out the gate, I just felt like this person was so arrogant in a way that was so demeaning. It was very demeaning. It's one thing to be confident, but it's another thing to be arrogant where you're demeaning others. That's arrogance to me. Some people get it confused with confidence. See, when someone is confident, they'll most likely help you to feel confident, or they'll just stand in their own light, just basking in their light, just emitting their own confidence. But when someone is arrogant, they tend to belittle other people so that they can feel big and confident. It's a false sense of confidence. Okay? So with that being said, I felt that way. And that was the first strike. That was the first kind of like thing that kept coming up. And it kept happening. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute, okay, we've come to an understanding where it was proven that I even have more knowledge than this person in this particular field. And this person ended up realizing that, and it made them feel like, oh, okay, yeah, so you do know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I was always knowing what you were talking about. I'm just very humble. And so the person kind of felt, stupid in their own folly because they assumed wrong, and they were so loud with it, with their arrogance, so loud, constant belittling, putting me down in a subtle way. And I looked at that and I was like, all right, well, you know, people have their little ways about them. You could overlook certain things. Maybe it was just, The way he explained it was like, oh, most people just don't get it. I'm tired of like explaining this to people and them not getting it. But at a certain point, I realized that this is who this person really is. They're really that type of person who needs to feel like on top in order to feel good about themselves. It came up in several different conversations and little subtle jokes, like, I kept getting that vibe like this person was viewing themselves as like more than me. And if we were to get into a relationship, we were not even in a relationship, we were just talking. If we were to get into a relationship, this person they already have this image of someone that is like someone that they see in the media that resembles me. And I hate when people do that, because just because me and someone favor doesn't mean that we share the same characteristics or same life experiences or what have you. That's very shallow. And a lot of times people like to get with people that they can kind of, you know, get that like residual clout off of. That's the same thing my baby daddy did when, everybody was insinuating that me and a famous superstar, very wealthy woman, that we resemble each other. And, you know, when everybody was going with that flow, that vibe, especially because, I am from the islands, they would like to say that, oh, well, you guys are so similar, and they would like be kind of fulfilling this weird fantasy through our liking. And it was kind of weird for me, because I'm like, I don't want that kind of superficial connection. I'm a star of my own. I'm a star in my own light, in my own right. I come with too much to be in to share I'm not gonna share the spotlight with someone else and kind of like clout. Like, I don't do that. That's not even in my nature to like share clout off of someone else. That's crazy to me. And if someone is trying to put me in that position, that's a very awkward place to be in. And so this person now is trying to, you know, I guess, view me in the likeness of somebody who's in the public eye, who's not so, who's nowhere near the elevation that I am. And I'm not saying that to put that person down, but it's just to say, like, you can tell that she's going through her learning experience in a way that I had already, you know, I can't even say that I graduated from, because me and her, we share such different perspectives. She looks like she's reveling in toxicity, and and living through that. Like, when I was in my toxic situations, I wanted to escape out of it through healing in any way freaking possible. And I found healing, and I got out of my situation through healing and growing and learning. And this is how I'm able to acquire the amount of knowledge and stuff that I have now to share with you guys. And it's so, for someone to come into your life and try to like compare you to someone who's living currently in toxicity and bullshit, and then say that, yeah, you're like that, and then they start to treat you as if you're on that level, as if they can't see the person standing in front of them. It's like, yo, okay, so you can go, you can definitely go, because there's no way you're gonna drag me down to a level that, like, I'm not going back to toxic. I'm not going back to anything that is, they start throwing things onto you that don't even fit. You know what I mean? Projecting things onto you so that they can feel comfortable where they are, instead of raising themselves up to be where you are. It's sort of kind of like how he started off with the belittling and the arrogance, and then it moved on into, feeling like, okay, now I'm gonna try to, describe you like someone who's beneath you, so that I could feel good about the stuff that I'm gonna do in the future to make you feel less than who you are, because I am not ready to grow and meet you where you are. And that was kind of stuff that I had to kind of see play out. Not for long though, but I mean, I observed it so I could have a definitive answer and understanding as to why it's important for me to leave this person alone. Like, the lack of accountability for me is something that I as a man, like, that's one of those non-negotiables. Like, you have to be one of those type of man that'll hold yourself accountable. You know, like, I shouldn't have to be pulling teeth to get you to acknowledge something that would help the relationship grow in a healthy way. Especially if you have the mind and the heart to fight for what you feel is right. That means you can see clearly, but you only see what you want to see. You're only selfish about what you see, because if it's something that you have done to sabotage the relationship or to hurt me, you're not going to be as readily available and accountable to yourself, because you're just running from that responsibility. That's something that I can't deal with. That's a no-go for me. And it took me a while to get here, because I would always like to give people excuses and give them the benefit of the doubt, thinking that they'll evolve and change and whatnot. And it always ended up biting me in the butt, because people like that, they don't just become accountable over time. You gotta hold people accountable or walk away and call your power back in, because as much as you're attached to someone, or the idea of what it could be when things are good, you gotta, like I said, weigh the lows and the highs and see what the fruits are. What is your net gain? What do I gain from this connection? Do I gain positivity? Do I feel uplifted when I'm done talking to this person? Most of the time. Do I feel belittled? Do I feel like I keep getting these like low blows, these like weird kind of like competitive vibes? Do I keep feeling like, this person might be somewhat jealous of me and might want to try to put me down all the time? Those little things slowly start to chip away at your self-esteem. And before you know it, you start to feel ugly. You start to not take care of yourself. You start to fall into this sadness, because you're feeding your soul someone who is not nourishing you. They're depleting you. Meanwhile, you're giving them all your good energy, your positive company, your time, and and they're taking up space that you could be sharing that time and space with someone who's going to actually pour back into you. And so you just got to choose between you and them. And at that point, I just said, you know what, I'm choosing me. I'm no longer allowing this person to take up any more of my time. If they're not going to respect me, they're not going to honor me, and they're not going to show me the reciprocity that I deserve. And that's that on that. When you mess with the respect, when you mess with the reciprocity, when you mess with the trust, like if I'm communicating something to you and you take that private information that we're supposed to be bonding and sharing, we bonded and shared with, like, really, really personal stuff, and you take that, and in a heat of the disagreement, you take that and you throw it in my face. I can't trust you. From that point on, you just lost all trust. That's something I take very seriously, because there's no foundation. You just crumbled the foundation. You really crumbled the foundation when you took what we shared in private and you put it out into an argument as if that's something that's appropriate. I look at anybody that I'm going to be in a relationship with as like, can they be a good friend to me? A friend will never do that. A good friend will never do that. A good friend is not going to be quick to side with the opposition just because they're upset at you, or upset with you, excuse me. They're not going to be looking for anything that the opposition that they know says about you and then jump on the bandwagon and say, yeah, that's why they say this about you. That's why they say your back is broad. I'm just throwing that out there. My back is not broad, but you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to just jump out and start, speaking the same rhetoric as like your opposition. Like, they're not going to do that, because That's a no-go zone. That's a no-go zone. That's a no-fly zone. That shit is not gonna fly over here, right? A lot of things were said, but at the end of the day, it's like, if who's gonna have self-restraint? You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna have the self-restraint to not go blow for blow verbally, like, like emotionally at that. I would say emotionally, because it's like emotions, it's nothing like extreme, and then, let me go to the verbal part, because in your language you choose to, call me names outside of the name that God gave me. That's crazy. I'm thinking we're sharing a very, like, a special bond, right? We're sharing a special bond, and you abuse that bond. You take that bond and you decide that you're gonna shit on it. Good luck. I mean, like, good luck. Like, you should know how much a person is worth to you before you go shitting on the bond that y'all had, because that's a no-go. You don't do that and think that things can be repaired like that. It just doesn't work. And furthermore, I've lived too long, I've been on this planet way too long to overlook when I know that someone is coming with distorted energy. I know the energy that I resonate at naturally. And I'm sharing this energy with you. And I know when we reconvene and you come with some left field type speculative type stuff. You ever be like really, really, like, you're in a long distance relationship with someone, or you're talking to someone and you guys don't have frequent contact like that, and you know the kind of vibe the kind of tone that you set for the interaction on a regular basis, and then they come with that wobbly stuff. It's like, okay, what happened? Oh man, they don't want to talk about it because they're usually entertaining someone else, and they're weighing their options. Meanwhile, you can't even talk about someone else, inviting you to a conference or something that's going to uplift you, because they feel like while they're juggling bullshit, here it is that you're talking about stuff that's going to move your life into a positive direction, move you into a whole new level. And then the jealousy comes about. Not even jealous because it's a dude, that's one part of it, but the other part is like, how dare you even like try to level up? Meanwhile, I'm fighting with fuckery. I'm slinging mud shit with someone who's beneath you. It's like they're even more pissed at themselves. They're more so pissed at themselves for the dynamic of that than they are, you entertaining someone while y'all not even in a committed relationship. This person is engaging with someone, and they're not even letting it be known that they have someone else that they're engaging. And that's the reason why their energy be all over the place. When y'all get back together, you're like, wait a minute, what happened? What's going on with your energy? And they're like, da, da, da. I don't really want to talk about it right now. They change the subject and they try to smooth it over. That's lying by omission, my friend. I'm too tapped in to not know these things. Like, been there, done that. And the fact that you try to pull that shit over my eyes, it's like, that's even more reasons to not trust you. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much faults in the foundation that it's hard to say that anything worth building would ever stand. That structure would just be so fucking compromised. Anything that comes to blow that down would just completely obliterate anything. But they want you to believe that it's so strong and sturdy, so you continue to pour all your good, your good materials into that relationship, so you could pour your good ass energy into that relationship. Meanwhile, they know what they're doing is fuckery. I can't stand a deceptive motherfucker like that. I can't. You're deceptive. Utilizing my time and my energy to kind of make you feel good for the moment, and then you go back to garbage, and then you think that you can come back to me because I feel good, and so what you want to do, go back to what you're used to, is what I told this person, and I meant that. Because I'm like, listen, you're not prepared. You didn't prepare for me. I'm preparing for the person that's meant for me. It's not fair for me to be in a state of preparation, or rather prepared for the person who's meant for me. And you come in and you know, like, you want what I can give you, but you're not prepared. And you want me to think you're prepared so you can give me whatever the fuck you have left. Fuck that. I don't want that. I don't want what you got left. I want a prepared. God said he will prepare a table before me. And my God is going to send me a man that's in his image, like him. I want a man to prepare a table before me and pull my chair out and let me sit and then tuck me in, type shit. Prepare for me. That's the kind of man that I need. A chivalrous man that knows what he has, who he is, all of the above. A table has to be set and prepared for the queen to sit at the head of the table. I don't want anybody that's coming in here like, all right, oh, okay. So we just trying to just figure it out, and no. Not the way that I prepared myself. I went in and broke my alabaster box. Okay? I broke the good old alabaster box that I've been storing up my good ass perfume in. Okay? I done washed up, cleaned myself, put on the best of my garments. What are you talking about? Preserved myself. Are you kidding? You think I'm just doing this because it's fun? No, I'm doing this with a purpose in mind. That the person that gets to behold me is whole. You're whole and you're ready, you're prepared, and you're ready for me to behold you. That's kind of what that veil of, like, behold the bride, and you remove the veil. Behold. When you behold me, oh baby, you're getting the whole fucking, come on, like, come on. You're getting a whole wife. When you behold me, you're getting a whole life. And I can't just sit here giving samples to anybody. No, man. No, senor. No, senor. It doesn't work that way, my friend. Kidding me? When you behold me, you're getting a full wife. You're getting everything that you could ever. Some people, alright, so here's the deal. And here's why a lot of women end up in relationships, in marriages with men who were never prepared for the marriage. They end up fumbling the wife horribly, damaging her, scuffing her up, leaving her with a fucking damaged ass elbow, busted up knee, maybe a lump on her head because he fumbled her so hard. How you even a famous basketball figure talked about how he fumbled his wife and how he had the best thing ever. And then he got to watch her. I think she said she invited him to her new husband's wedding, like, out of courtesy. Her ex-husband she invited. Like, I'm not laughing at the situation, but it's like so ironic. Like, this man gets to watch this lady who has raised his children, now still looking good, moving into phase 2 of her, romantic life with someone who's spoiling her, loving on her, treating her and, adoring her. Like, I don't know the full ins and outs of their relationship, nor will I try to act like I know, but just based off of what can be seen and what has been said, what has been spoken from the persons themselves, I can say that this is the dynamic that a lot of, men find themselves in when they realize that they fumbled their wife. They was not prepared. I am not going to be one of those wives that get fumbled because I accepted a man who did not prepare for me. You have to prepare for me, period. You have to prepare for me. And this is why I take my preparation so seriously, because you got to prepare for me. That's what I expect. It's what I can provide. People want to talk about 50-50 on bills, but they're not talking about 50-50 on spiritual evolution. Where has your spirit been? Where are you now? Where's your 50? You know what I mean? Where's your 50 coming from? I hope not some guru. No shade to the gurus, but I mean, like, it's a lot of, I'm talking about the wannabe gurus that tell you anything just to. I hope it really comes from your own personal experiences and your evolution, your process. Everybody's process is going to be different. And if that's where it's coming from, then, the ancestors are saying, well, that shall suffice. And so with that being said, I'm just going to cut this short, guys. I'm going to cut this short. I always reach the 20-something minute mark, and that's it. I don't want to ramble on, but as you guys know by now, this is Orter signing off. It's time to let things go. I predicted this, actually. Like, want to say, maybe, when did this happen? Let me see. I think I predicted it 2 days before it happened, or a day before it happened. Let me see. This was, when was this? Saturday, right? And I predicted this happening, this sort of breakup. I predicted this 3 days ago. What was 3 days ago? It's 2:22 p.m. right now. That's crazy. I need to trust myself. I predicted this on the same day. Whoa, what the heck? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, on a Saturday. I literally predicted it earlier that day. Oh my God. It's like, and I prayed about it. I prayed about it that morning. I was like, God, help me to know, I need to know what this, if this is meant for me, let it be. But if it's not, rid it from me. And I said, so shall it be. It is what it is. And it unraveled that same night. It unraveled that same damn night. That's so crazy how speedily, I didn't have to waste no time. And then I started seeing all the things that I was overlooking and glossing over with my, rosy colored glasses, just kind of looking over it, painting it over. And I started seeing all of those things and how they'll be so detrimental. Those little things add up. And how, damn, it took me a day to kind of recover from that. Whoa, snap now, wait a minute. Ay, Dios mío. It took me a day. It took me a day of just sitting in fucking sorrow. That Sunday, that Monday, today's Tuesday. Oh my God. I felt, yeah, it took me 2 days to recover from that because I wasn't ready. When you ask for revelation, pray for the strength and the courage to withstand. Because, boy, oh boy, let me tell you, I felt so that detachment is no joke. That detachment is no joke. It's no joke. You have to really be strong because it's you're at a point now where you know better, so you really got to do better. You're not going to put yourself through something where you know it's going to be detrimental to you. You know what I mean? No matter how good it once made you feel, you gotta choose, like, damn, gotta choose. Alright guys, that's my time. This is Oratory signing out with another manga. I won't know when I'm gonna be, uploading these. I might just kind of let these trickle out through the week. I hate to have it like premiere for more than like 72 hours because then people forget, but I may have to do it like that to kind of give you guys a regular schedule because trust me, I only come on here when I have something valuable to share or when, something is really occurring. I'll also post the Mother Nature clip that I recorded that night. I don't know. Let me see what night that was. I think it was that Saturday night. I said this whole revelation occurred on a Saturday night, and I recorded that Mother Nature clip that night. And then 2 days later or a day later, we have on the national news broadcasting weather station how we have a sweeping cold storm coming in across the United States, affecting every every state, especially in the Northwest Plains, and it's also kind of affecting the southern regions. And I talked about how that stuff is, I kind of went into a little bit of details on that video. So if you'd like to hear it, please go and check it out. It's something about Mother Nature or healing, respecting the divine feminine. I talk about how that correlates. And I was very emotional, so just be prepared to see the softer side of me, the more emotional side of me, which I don't really put on display often, but it was definitely necessary, and it was freeing for me because I was getting downloads on top of the healing work that I had to do to come up out of this sort of disappointment I was feeling with this entire situation. So anyways, if you want to see that, hopefully the machine will plug it in towards the end because I'm going to wrap it up right now. So hopefully what you see is what you get. Do feel free, if you like this message, to comment. Let me know what you think. Like, share it. Hit the subscribe button. The bell notification basically gets you alerted as to when I post some more content. And yeah, take best care. I'll see you guys on another video or clip. Bye for now.